Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to my channel. Today is all about fresh cinema experiences, and I can't wait to share my thoughts on the newest film making its mark. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the recap of this exciting cinematic adventure. At the starting, we see gracious war breaks out between the government who bolsters the unification and a psychological militant organization who is against it. So, what precisely causes the war? How will the government handle it? Let's discover it out. In 2024, an incredible war over domain breaks out among the capable nations. To manage with the war, South and North Korea concur to reunify. Be that as it may, the other nations see this as a danger and force financial sanctions on the reunified Korea. The sanctions decline the country's economy and allow birth to a fear-based oppressor organization named Sect, whose objective is to break the get-together. They are prepared with incredible numbers and weaponry which inconveniences the police. The government shaped an extraordinary unit to battle the sect. In any case, a wicked Friday happened when the extraordinary unit murdered 15 guiltless young ladies amid an operation. The occurrence prompted seethe among the individuals and frequented the unit with blame. In spite of the condition, the unit is held to keep the faction in check. In addition, they have to be fight not as it were the faction, but to the Open Security Division who needs to require over the country's security. A long time afterward, the faction utilizes a revolt to wreak destruction. They utilize capable bombs and programmed rifles to overpower the police. After a whereas, the unit arrives at the scene and makes the faction drop back. In spite of their exertion, the unit chases them down to their final fort with Im Joong-kyung as their field pioneer. On the other hand, the faction is planning blameless children to commit suicide bombarding. After realizing that the unit is close, they attempt to elude through the water burrow. The two restricting parties at long last meet and a gunfight breaks out. The unit guards themselves easily with their uncommon armor and wipes them out inside minutes. On the other hand, Im Joong-kyung is searching for the remaining individuals, but finds an blameless young lady instep. Reminded of his blame, he puts down his weapon. Be that as it may, the young lady alarms and closes up, blowing herself up. The occurrence declines the unit's notoriety advance and they are suspended for 4 weeks. The unit's chief preparing officer considers that the suspension is done by the Open Security Division and decides to examine assist. In the meantime, Im Joong-kyung meets Han, an ex-part of the unit who got to be a tall positioning officer within the office. Han gives him the blameless girl's journal and inquires him to return it to her family, particularly her more seasoned sister named Yun-hee. In any case, he doesn't intellect it and proceeds to experience thorough preparing. In spite of his exertion, he cannot center since he is shadowed by his blame, so he chooses to meet Yun-hee that night. Im Joong-kyung feels blameworthy to begin with, but to his shock, Yun-hee doesn't abhor him for her sister's passing. On their way domestic, they conclusion up creating sentiments towards one another. After isolating, Yun-hee doesn't go domestic but meets Han instep, turns out, and orders Yun-hee to approach Im Joong-kyung and draw him into a trap. In trade, he will fund her sickly brother's restorative operation. The arrange is specifically administered by the department's executive who presumes that Im Joong-kyung may be a part of the Wolf Brigade, a bunch inside the extraordinary unit who needs to ensure the unit's objective. The Wolf Brigade is rumored to have murdered degenerate people and killed the unit's restricting parties. Another day, a part of the unit stalks Im Joong-kyung who could be a order part. There, she stands up to Yun-hee for her disloyalty of getting to be the department spy. Turns out, Yun-hee is additionally a faction part and she clarifies that she got to be the division spy to pay her brother's restorative bills. In spite of her words, Im Joong-kyung doesn't accept Yun-hee and takes off. Upon taking off, she realizes that she is being taken after and tries to flee. Be that as it may, the unit part overwhelms her and captures her. Within the cross-examination room, Chief clarifies that the order has been supported by the division to mix chaos and thrust the extraordinary unit to the edge. Chief moreover influences her to contrive against the faction, to which she concurs as it were in case she gets an unused character after the operation. In the meantime, Im Joong-kyung is assembling Yun-hee for the moment time. The office has bugged his phone and sends out a group to capture him. In spite of realizing the circumstance, he calmly takes after the diversion and acts as on the off chance that everything's typical. Yun-hee goes to the lavatory and prepares herself to trap Im Joong-kyung, as Han has arranged. Han too gave her a following gadget to guarantee her security. In spite of the situation, Im Joong-kyung all of a sudden stands up to Yun-hee and clears out. Her impedances obstructs the arrange, and Joong-kyung effortlessly overwhelms the group. The incredible number of the department's group doesn't influence Joong-kyung's victory in battling back. He moreover spares Yun-hee, who is chased by the division for falling flat the mission. When they are almost to take off, a weaponized ramble comes and shoots at them. Be that as it may, Joong-kyung effortlessly handles the ramble as well, and they elude effectively. They run to the stopping part and take a car to run absent. When they are almost to elude, Han shows up and crashes into them. Han inquires him to yield, but Joong-kyung decreases. He moreover uncovers that he knows all along that Yoon-hee is Han's spy and they are conspiring to trap him. Han is startled and lets his watch down, so Joong-kyung is able to elude. After the occasion, Chief orders Joong-kyung to turn Yoon-hee in. Joong-kyung feels sorry for her and offers her to escape and spare herself. Be that as it may, she decays since there's no secure put for her. After investing a few time together, Yun-hee begins to lament her choice of deluding Joong-kyung. She at last falls for him and inquires him to run absent together, but Joong-kyung doesn't react. After a whereas, Chief calls Joong-kyung to reaffirm that Yoon-hee must be turned in. Hearing that, Yun-hee chooses to turn on the following gadget that Han gave her. Han tracks her and conveys the extraordinary ops group to capture Joong-kyung. Once more, Yun-hee laments her activity of catching Joong-kyung and appears him the following gadget. Be that as it may, Joong-kyung calmly proceeds his arrange to meet Chief. At that point, Chief arrives at the scene and uncovers that he has been utilizing Yun-hee to trap the division. He moreover affirms that Joong-kyung is really one of the Wolf Brigade who needs to kill debasement inside the office. Joong-kyung is at that point prepared with the extraordinary armor and intentionally brings the following gadget with him to draw the adversaries. One by one, the groups are taken down by Joong-kyung. He murders them quickly and without benevolence. As a final resort, Han sends the uncommon ops and enters the battle. They are prepared with overwhelming weapons that are more progressed than the other team's weaponry. In spite of their hardware, Joong-kyung doesn't indeed recoil and battles back. He proceeds to slaughter the uncommon ops until Han is the as it were one cleared out. A shootout happens between Joong-kyung and Han, coming about in Han being gravely harmed. He tries to escape but meets a dead conclusion along the way. Joong-kyung offers him to be spared, but Han decays and shoots Joong-kyung instep. As a result, he counters and shoots Han to passing. At last, the department's constraint is wiped out by the Wolf Brigade. At that point, Yun-hee is brought by Chief to be executed. After the planning, Joong-kyung all of a sudden shows up to spare her and tries to conversation Chief out of it. Seeing his disciple's non-compliance, he hands the weapon over to Joong-kyung and orders him to commence the execution. He inquires Yun-hee why she didn't escape when she had the chance, and she says that she adores him and she as it were needs to run absent together. On the other hand, Chief listens that the execution hasn't been commenced. He is infuriated and stands up to Joong-kyung for his unfaithfulness. The battle between two Wolf Brigade is furious and tense since both of them are well prepared and prepared with extraordinary gear. The battle closes when Joong-kyung chooses to desert the extraordinary unit due to Chief's cold-hearted orders. Within the conclusion, the division outrage is brought to open and the executive is captured by the police. North and South Korea will too hold a summit to continue the reunification conversation. In the meantime, Yun-hee and his brother escape to another put to live a serene life together. And the movie ends here. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed this film recap and want more, subscribe now, like, and share captivating stories with your friends. Tell me which movie you'd like me to summarize next. See you soon.